scanning shit. I bet you I can get close enough to see. Get it out of my eyes, dickhead. Okay then. So he turns and puts that in my eyes, so that's fine. Looks like he's getting out. Let's see if he comes over. You tell him he gets that light out of my eyes, I'll turn mine off. Okay? That's fine. You see how he keeps shining at me? That's fine. I'll keep moving. I'll make him keep moving it. I'm just out here to record. I turned it up, turned the light on. I was going to turn it down. He kept putting it, he turned his on, so I mean, he wants to keep putting it in my eyes. Well, I'm just going to leave mine on then. I have just as much right to have a light on as he does. We got another one over there. So for the record, I turned my light on, started trying to adjust it. I realized it was a little bright, so I went to turn it down, and before I could even turn it down, he turned his on and started putting it in my eyes. So I guess we're just both going to leave our lights on. I thought we all had an understanding with myself and HPD about all that. I mean, that I would turn it on but turn it down and try not to, you know, I figured that was a fair, you know, amenable situation we had going, where I'd turn it up but I'd turn it down once I realized that how much I would need. That's 148, 148, 222, 222. And they have one vehicle stopped, for the record. I think his nickname is going to be Officer Dirty Sanchez. Let's see if he moves that light in my face for the third time. Seems like another cocky piece of shit to me, with a bad attitude and a fucking light, likes to play with lights. Go fuck yourself, sir. Looks like we're all done here. Looks like we got Dirty Sanchez up here. Just like the tags in the window. You want to identify yourself to me, officer? I'm sorry? Can I get your name and badge number, please? Negative. Negative? Okay. I think there's a policy about identifying yourself. Did you hear that? He said negative. Okay.
It's time once again for the Record, where I give my opinions and a bit of explanation. Feel free to stop here or listen. Hell, I don't give a shit. Just choose one. I have my own approach to certain situations where I believe an officer is simply violating policy but not rising to the level of violating someone's rights. You can agree with it or disagree with it, but I'll explain it. Specifically, a refusal to identify is not a life changer, nor is it a huge deal in and of itself, at least the first time. However, I believe it indicates a mentality of lack of accountability, lack of belief in being a servant to the public, and a probability that if left completely unchecked, it can easily be motivated for increased unaccountability. Mainly, I believe it is an indicator that there may be deeper issues with that officer. I tend to try to give numerous opportunities to comply with policy and act professionally, honorably, and with accountability before I take further steps. Dirty Sanchez's refusal to ID is no exception, and I took the following steps. Step 1. I asked him not once but twice at the scene to identify. Step 2. I passed word around that all he had to do was talk to me before I went home and simply tell me he should have identified and then identify to me with his badge number and his name as I requested the first 2 times, and I'd consider the matter closed. Step 3. I remained out for a long time after spreading the word and even saw him parked somewhere, and when I went to give him another opportunity to identify, per their policy and professionalism, he left as soon as he realized I was going to his location. Step 4. I then found and flagged down his supervisor and explained the situation. I would have simply dealt with it, with the officer specifically, and allowed him to fix the issue prior to escalating and making a video, as I've done. But Mrs. Dirty Sanchez, or Madam Dirty Sanchez, as she shall be known from henceforth, had no desire to be, nor act in any manner resembling a public servant. I believe my approach is one of fairness and consistency. If I didn't give her the opportunity to fix this and just immediately went on to other options, I don't think it would be fair. Everyone fucks up, but the measure of a person is being able to admit he or she fucked up, fix the issue, and prove it is fixed. Madam Dirty Sanchez failed at every opportunity, in my personal opinion. Couple questions, Madam Dirty Sanchez. Do you believe that as a law enforcement officer, you are to treat all people with honor, professionalism, integrity, and accountability, regardless of color, political affiliation, whether you like them, whether you agree with their comments, and despite your personal feelings? Okay. And do you consider yourself to be a public servant? Okay, sir. And just 2 more questions, please, if you have the time.
You want to identify yourself to me, officer? I'm sorry? Can I get your name and badge number, please?
I'd like to leave you with just a few more thoughts, Dirty Sanchez. How easy is it to comply with policy and procedure when dealing with someone you like and or agree with? It's not very difficult, is it? Nope. But the measure of your professionalism is whether you can do the same even with those you may not like the actions of. Words from, clothing worn by, car driven by, music listened to by, etc. You get the gist. That is where you show your professionalism, honor, integrity, and accountability. And that is where you prove that you can do your job in a manner respecting rights and people in a fair, just, and unbiased manner. You have shown deficiency in that department. If you will ignore policy and professionalism based upon personal beliefs or being upset, then how reasonable is it to assume that you would be incapable of being professional or respecting someone's rights in other situations where you have a personal bias or a dislike? So in the end, I'll accept my responsibility for my light control failure, which is 1,000 times more fairness than your department either deserves nor would ever grant another person from what I've seen. It is the same Mrs. Sanchez isn't man enough to do the same. I'll be seeing a lot more of you, ma'am. Respect is earned, and you apparently think it was a gift bestowed upon you by your God when they pinned that badge to your chest. So you'll get none from me until you earn it. Your choice and my belief. In the words of the immortal Ricky from Trailer Park Boys,
Sawyer, you do have full authority to fuck right off and